House Speaker Paul Ryan also talking about the Senate's draft health care bill. Listen.
The system's collapsing. It's a real look. Anthem Blue Cross yesterday pulled out of Wisconsin. That's one of the most flagship health insurers we've had in our state for many, many years. So this system is in a tailspin. We made a promise that we would repeal and replace this law. I'm very happy that the Senate has gone through the work of putting together a bill that keeps that promise.
All right, joining me now is Guy Benson, Fox News contributor and political editor of townhall.com, and former Bill Clinton pollster Bernard Whitman. Thanks to both of you for joining us. Hey. Guy, we saw those Republicans get out front the floor right away to say we can't sign this. They were sort of laying their markers down that they were going to need something. Not unexpected, but what do you think? Do they get there?
I would be very surprised, Melissa, if there is a successful vote on this bill by next week. I think that there's a long period of changes that's going to have to take place because there are people in the center and on the right who are unhappy with elements of the bill. And the idea that you're going to fix all of those concerns and get them all addressed over the span of 1 week and then have a vote on something that senators are just now starting to read, to me, the timeline just doesn't make any sense. Look, I think Speaker Ryan is completely correct that Obamacare is falling apart. It's a failure of a law. The Democrats are responsible. But this bill that the Senate has put forward so far, there's a big contradiction here in my mind, and this is what it is. It says that under the current bill, just like Obamacare, insurers have to sell everyone, including people with pre-existing conditions, health insurance for the same rates as everyone else, while also repealing Obamacare's individual mandate tax. There's no enforcement mechanism anywhere there. So I just don't understand how, as it currently is constituted, the Republican plan would reverse the fundamental flaw of Obamacare, which is risk pools that are unsustainable. That, to me, is ultimately should be the biggest issue here.
I absolutely agree with you. I mean, looking through it, and it seems to come down to those risk pools. And they talk about the size of them and can they possibly be big enough. And Bernard, it seems like the only way to do that is if they reinsure those risk pools. I mean, that's the math that gets you there. Is that going to be too mathematical and too much like, I don't know, it's starting to sound like the financial crisis when you're doing things like this?
Well, stop the presses, because I actually agree with Guy Benson. This bill is DOA. We already heard it. Mike Lee.
I'm not sure that's what he said.
Johnson. I don't think Lisa Murkowski is going to vote for it. I don't think Susan Collins would vote for it. I don't think Dean Heller would vote for it. It is a walking disaster. It's bad for Americans. It's bad for the Republican base. It's terrible if you're a working American, middle-class American. If you have a father or a grandfather or a grandmother in a nursing home, if you have
that's not true.
This bill, if you read this, Melissa,
the problem is that they're not taking away money from those things, so there's no way to pay for this.
This bill cuts health care to those who need it most, to give tax giveaways to those who need it least.
Incorrect.
It is a slash and burn. It's on the path to getting rid of Medicaid. Okay. That's exactly
Guy, I'm going to let you respond because he's factually, mathematically incorrect, but I'm going to let you tell him. Go ahead, Guy.
Said no cuts to Medicaid.
Excuse me? That's not true. Go ahead, Guy.
It's completely true.
No, it's not. Read the actual document.
I did.
Yeah, no. Here's the problem. Some people on the left are going to say anything that the Republicans propose is mean-spirited and draconian, blah, blah, blah. In fact, you have Jonathan Gruber, who is one of the key architects of Obamacare, who helped lie that thing into existence. He was on another network this morning and said, actually, this is no longer an Obamacare repeal bill because it keeps so much of it in place and just sort of waters it down. So I think my objections to the Republican bill, a big one being, how do you fix the risk pools and the adverse selection problem? The other one being, I don't really believe that it's that different than Obamacare as it currently stands. That's a very different thing than saying, oh my gosh, it's uprooting everything and hurting all these people and harming everyone.
Hang on. We're not going to solve this. So Bernard, can I ask you about one of the other big topics of the day?
Sure.
Let me ask you about the pushback against Nancy Pelosi after the upsets that we've seen. There are people within the Democratic Party saying that her time has gone by, that you'd have to be insane to think that the Democrats can succeed with her at the helm. What's your take on that?
I think the best thing for the Democratic Party is exactly what Nancy Pelosi welcomed, which is competition. I think that if there are Democrats out there that feel that they'd be a better leader than Leader Pelosi, then let them come forward, bring their ideas, and have an open vote for the head of the caucus. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Competition in the free market is the best way to advance our policies. I think the Democrats need an opportunity to express who should be the voice and the face of the party going into the midterm. So I welcome that, and I think she does too.
Yeah. Here's what Congressman Kathleen Rice had to say about that.
I believe that she is not the leader for the future of the Democratic Party. It's that simple. Do I think it's fair? Do I think it's fair that the Republican playbook over the last 4 election cycles has been attacking Nancy Pelosi and demonizing her? No, that's not fair, nor is it accurate. But guess what? It works. They're winning. So we have to address that reality.
Have your fun. I love the arena. I thrive on competition, and I welcome the discussion, but I am honored by the support.
She's getting a lot of blame, Guy. Does she deserve it?
Yes. I mean, so here's the thing, right? The previous soundbite that you played before Pelosi said, oh, it's not fair to her, it's not accurate, but it works. Well, that last part is correct. It does work because it is fair and it is accurate. I hope Pelosi rules forever and ever.
Yeah. I'll give you the last word, Bernard.
Look, I think that the amazing thing about this whole health care story is one thing we haven't touched on, which is the president should be out there promoting his health care bill, and instead he's coming up with these absurd rebuttals to his own lie that he talked about having taped Comey in the Oval Office. This is an example of an administration that has no idea how to govern and a president that's honestly a bit unhinged.
All right. We'll leave it there, guys. Thank you.